What is going on, everybody? Scene change, Floridia 2024 F350 DRW HO. Guess what we're doing? We've already done the upper, and I'm not gonna show you a video of that from Fleece, but what I am gonna show you is how to do the lower on this dually long bed you guys have been asking. I'm gonna show you. Let's go. All right, everybody, thanks so much for coming back and checking us out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. F350 coming at you. HO, I love my HOs, but I also like my new trucks almost as much as I like my 2020. Well, sort of. T-Jub, what do you think about that front end? I know you're giggling right now. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, we have it on the hoist. We got it all ready to go. You guys can choose to do this on your back, or you can choose to do it on the hoist, but this is what we're gonna be installing. This is the lower fleece. I've showed you multiple times putting this on with the tank out of the vehicle. This is the long bed. I've showed you how to install the short bed out of the vehicle, and I've showed you how to do it in the vehicle, which isn't that big of a deal. But you guys have not had one from me showing you how to access this area right here and what you gotta facilitate to do. First thing I want you guys to do, if you're gonna do any fleece kit, I recommend you doing both. For one reason is if you only do the upper, you're gonna be stuck with buying the Ford or another brand's kit that's gonna have both upper and lower filters. And if you've already put the upper fleece on, you're gonna be throwing the upper away, and it's not gonna really be, it's not smart. You're gonna be throwing away money. So get both fleece, but regardless if you're doing any fuel filters, I want you to do the upper fuel filter first. Get this one done, and you can choose to either leave the lines off or on. I like to leave these off and then go and drain the lower, because I feel once I break this seal up here, that siphoning effect that I hear you guys complain about, I feel doesn't happen as much as it did. And I've been a victim of the siphoning. It'll keep dumping fuel, and here we are 5 gallons later, like, whoa, why does this keep going? So let me get this thing lifted up, and I'm gonna get you underneath the truck, and we're gonna start by showing you where all these lines are under the truck. Wow, 48 gallon, long boy. If you guys had the 60 gallon, your fuel filter would be located right here, and you guys can see clearly that there's nothing here. So if you have the long bed, this is where your fuel filter is. In this location right here, all the Aluma-Duties are right here. If you have a cab chassis, like tow truck, your saddle fuel tank, the fuel filter would be right here. But for the most part, all the pickup trucks, the 1FTs, not the 1FD, all the fuel filters are gonna be right here. So before you, whether or not you're doing any fuel filter kit, you gotta disconnect the water and fuel sensor. You have this button right here. You can see the tab depressed. Pull that up, and then I kind of like to do this. I'll go right in here, and then you're gonna have a choice. You guys can either pull all these down and take your fuel filter out and make a mess, or you can crack this. These are the fingers that people are breaking and causing this to fall out and leak and all that. So let me get this draining, and I just don't feel like taking a bath. Can I show you? What if I do this? I wonder if I could show you the lines up through here. Can you guys see them at all? You can see one right there, and you see one right there. What if I came up this way? Can you see them that way? Maybe. We're gonna have to look and see if we can give you guys a good shot. You see how close I have this drain pan to the bottom of the vehicle? If you have it way down here, this is gonna splash all over. So if you wanna get like a furnace filter or one of those Lyle splash pads like I was showing you guys at the shop, then you won't be making the splash mess. But here it is. I'm gonna take this right here. It's like a 90-degree turn. And I'm just gonna let this drain. I'm gonna let this drain out this whole housing so that I can work with it better. Let me jiggle it around, get a little better drain here. There we go. Okay, we'll let that drain and then we'll come back here once it's dry. All right guys, so we have this line right here. You need to pop that out like that, break the seal, twist it, you know, just like I did here. I'm gonna use my thumb. I'm pushing the line on. I'm hitting my thumb. Okay, did I get it? Nope, okay. Make sure this is out all the way. Push it on, hit the button. Okay, see it slide off? Okay, let me wipe my hand. Okay, this line is off, okay? I'm gonna leave it right there. I just don't wanna get dribbled on right now. So now I can't see any of these. I'm gonna twist and break the seal. In fact, let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna take this 8 milli that holds the housing to the fuel tank right here. Okay, 8 milli out. We're not gonna be reusing this. Fleece is actually gonna give us a new 10 mil. So we'll set that aside. All right, I got one line off. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this fuel filter whole housing up. And we're gonna come up like this, okay? I'm gonna take it out of its holder. Okay, I got some leaves falling on me. All right, now, do you see those lines better at all? Okay, so now there is a button right here. Look at my fingers. Look at my fingers. If this is the line, I am coming just like this, and I'm pushing down on the button. This is the line going on to the filter housing. I am coming over the filter housing and I'm taking the tips of my fingers and I'm pushing right on this lip. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna try to remember right now. Here is the video of me putting the lower housing on the fuel tank that's out of the truck. See how I have it sitting here on the cart and where I'm putting my finger right here on the line, I'm twisting it, pushing it, and then pulling it off the housing. Okay, so that's the same thing you have to do right here. So if you see what I was just talking about in that clip, now visualize, I'm gonna take my fingers, I'm gonna push right here. I can feel that I'm pushing the button. Let's see if I can, okay, I got my other hand actually behind here. Okay, so I'm pushing the button. Let's see if I can pull it off. Okay, I got it detached. I'm not pulling it off all the way. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's break the seal. All right, twist the line. Let's see if we can do the same thing to this one. It is tight. Oh, come on, baby. Okay, that's one. I didn't mean to take that off. Oh, come on, baby. I'm pushing the button. Oh, a little awkward. Pushing the button. Oh my goodness, I got it. Whew. Okay, that's definitely off. Okay, we got one more line, guys. One more line. Okay, so this last line is exactly like the first one. This one right here is exactly like this one. We need to pull that clip out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the middle line off a little further. Oh, ooh, middle line's off. Ooh, and we're dripping fuel. So we've gotten a little bit leaky here. This one right here is becoming just a little bit of a nuisance. Trying to pop that out. I'm working by feel here. Okay, right there. I feel the thing I'm supposed to pop, right? Where you at? Where you at? Right here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this guy. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you this, you guys. Okay, that's the only one. You're the only one that wants to cause trouble here. Like, why couldn't Ford just put those lines on there like they had on the other end? Yeah, that was Fruel. Just getting leaked on. Can't get my hand, or can I? Oh man. Oh wait, can I? Can I? If my nails were stronger, does anybody know of a supplement I can take to increase my nail strength? Oh, okay, I don't think I'll have room for a screwdriver. Oh, I'm gonna need a pick. I said pick, not prick. Oh goodness, okay, I'm taking a 90-degree pick. This is quite the Bartholomew. Wait, you mean the whole time I've had this thing popped out and all I had to do is hit the button? Hey, knowing's half the battle. That's why I do this for you guys. Okay, I digress. There it is. I'm squeezing the button. Here's my fingers. Come on. Now I gotta squeeze the button. Come on, button. Come on, button. Push the line on. Squeeze the button. Drop the trigger, lock and load. Just break the wrist and walk away. Here it is. Here it is, here it is, here it is. There it isn't. Toodaloo, Sally Jesse. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Beavis and Butthead. Well, that's how you take it off. Here's the housing out of the truck. See the buttons you gotta push? This is what you're contending to. See the buttons for the blue one? Button for the yellow one. You gotta pull that thing out and then hit that triangle, just like that right there. So these two right here are the same, and these two right here are the same. So now, me and Mr. Customer thank him for filming, because I am all slopped up with fuel and I'm holding my camera with the blue rag, and I am going to now get the Fleece kit, which I already have prepared and lubricated. Got the lines all situated. Now this would be a time to install the Fleece heater. If you guys are up in the cold weather states, this is pretty slick, Fleece has, and you take out their little plate right here, and an element goes right in here, and they give you a wire that you run up to the engine compartment, and actually it's plug and play. You're disconnecting like an 18-20 pin connector under the hood, plugging theirs in, and then plugging the factory harness back into the other end of their harness, so it just makes a complete Y, and will give you your key on power when you turn the fuel pump on via the key. Can't really mess up the lines. You guys see them sitting up there, you can't crisscross them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this up in the tank. Come over here and show them. In the tank, even on the short beds, there is this V right here. This right here is what fits right in here. Ah, right, look at that. Right in my blood-giving vein. I tell you, the diesel fuel, although it has great BTU properties, I really do not like carrying it around with me all day. These guys told me 25 years ago that this was the wrong business to get into. Here I am. Okay, how about I do this? So I'm not fighting. How about I tilt these lines down, and I'm gonna soak up this fuel. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's do this one. Let's get whatever the residuals out. Okay, thank you. I'll do these two. Thank you. Okay. Fleece, here we are. put this guy in here like this. Okay. It's in the triangle. It's in that V. So now I am going to actually, you know what I'm gonna do? You guys can stick it up here. We're gonna pop one line on, if you can. Maybe I'll try to put it in the V. I can't remember what I did last time. Put that up out of the way. Let's see if I can get this one. Okay. Okay, that one is on. I heard the click. I can't pull it. I just hit the button. All right, our middle one. Our middle one is right. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Okay. Yellow one. Feel it. Let's see if I'm pushing up. Oh man, we got it. All right, I'm gonna wipe my hand. I'm gonna come up here in front and see if I can manipulate this one on. I feel it right here. Oh, come on. Okay, I think we're on. Not I think. I know. You hear that dinking? It won't come off. Okay, last line. Holy for holies. Okay, it's this one right here. You guys can see that pop on. You guys can see that pop on, right? If I can pull it off, it's gonna make sure the button's out. I'll pop it on. Nope. Oh, let's see, did I get it? Nope. Sometimes this one is kind of tough. Oh, for crying out loud. Went right on. Okay, that is on 100%. I can't pull it off now. Gonna want to brake clean this malarkey. But once you're done, you're gonna come back down here. We're gonna bring the light down so that you guys can see. Fleece has given us a pretty sweet width extension harness. Okay, I'm gonna grab a 10 milli. Excuse moi, merci. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put my 10 milli on. I'm gonna go, so this is same principle with the washers. Like, I don't wanna put the bolt through here. I wanna put the bolt through here. See the flat? Put the bolt through here. So I'm gonna put this into the housing. That's what's gonna bring it down into the fuel tank V. Now this is gonna want to spin. I'm gonna talk to Fleece. I think we should make this just a wee bit longer. But this is gonna wanna spin when we tighten this. So I'm gonna kind of hold this like this. And when I tighten it like that, then I'll have it spin right into place, okay? So what we'll do is this is why I want them to make it a little longer. We'll do this like this. Once it's plugged in, I'm okay with that. We'll take our width, and our width is gonna go just like this. Just like that. We're not hanging down. Now, a lot of you guys ask, stand back a little farther. Stand back a little farther. A lot of you guys ask how low this hangs down. Check it out. You guys can see how low it hangs. It's not like, I feel you guys are thinking that the fuel filter's hanging down like this when we put the spin-on ones on. But even if you had the stock tank and the bowl, this thing doesn't even hang down past the stock fuel tank. And if you had the S&B, you even have it in a nice, even tighter cavity that is still protected by the skid shield and everything. So definitely recommend this lower kit whether you have an aftermarket, a 60 gallon, a 34 gallon, factory 48 gallon, this is what you want. All right, so the last step before priming the engine is we got to clean it. And oh, this is my last brake clean. I have to be very sparingly. I didn't make that big of a mess. It felt like it was. Maybe I'll come up here and do a little spritz above. Oh yeah, okay. I'm all right with that. Let's drop this thing back down and start the key cycle process so we can get this guy back on the road. Okay, everything's good up here. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna have the customer turn the key on, and we are gonna watch the fuel go right into this bowl. So, yep, oh, the steps are hitting me. Okay, go turn the key on. Running board steps are right in my shoulder. Okay, key is on, filling up that housing. There's our fuel pump. There's our fuel. If that's getting in there, that means fuel's going into our lines. And that means if we had a leak, the lines, they'd be leaking right now. By now, fuel should be coming up here to the top. Looking at it, I don't see any leaks. This is a HO. He does not have the generator. Hallelujah. But he's got a HO. No big deal. All right, cycle it again. How many of you guys right now, go look at your brand new trucks. How many of you guys have masking tape on the hot side charge air cooler temperature sensor? The indicative noise of fuel coming up top. A lot of the factory, I'll see caps. Like they'll have caps on, for instance, these lines here, you know, on the engine part, and the guys who take the caps off will let them fall down into the valley, or, you know, leave them like this, or they'll leave them down in here like this. Masking tape's one of the popular ones I see, but I found a lot of good caps that I use to cap off shit, you know, just to, you know, when I'm working on stuff. Okay, one more key cycle and then go ahead and start it. Heck yeah. Let's go check the bottom. Checking the bottom. Fuel filter replaced. Fuel filter looking good. Nice and clear. And clean. With that being said, I hope you guys are using a fuel additive. Check out archoil.com. Use code PTT to save at checkout. But I have a DCR to do on a 2021. I'm going to continue to sweat off my brow, and I'll get working on this lovely King Ranch. I dig the King Ranches, and you know what? I freaking love the two tones, man. A lot of the King Rancher guys love the bronze. Sorry, S&S, we're taking that off because we're putting on the pump. We'll see you guys later. I appreciate you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, sub, share. And if you guys need an appointment, make sure to check out the email in the description and the phone number in the first couple minutes of the video so that I can get you in the shop for an appointment and get your truck taken care of the right way. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you later.